Okay, it's just getting dark on Aleje Jerozolimskie, or Jerusalem Avenue, one of the famous streets of Warsaw, which oddly enough I'm not sure I've even filmed before. And it's quite interesting because we've got some interesting shops and things around. What we got going on here, we've got like a false flame on the top of this iron jubilar. It looks like a fire, but when you get up nice and close to it, you discover it's like a kind of piece of cloth blowing in the wind, like The Answer, my friend, by Bob Dylan. So here we have a gentleman in fancy dress handing out tickets to the shop, or offers that if you go in there and buy something you can have it cheaper than the marked price, which is tantamount to an admission that they've overpriced their goods. The name of the shop is Aren, so all I have to say is, aren't they ashamed of themselves for that, for their rotten phony fire and their fancy dress clown and their overpriced goods, you know. But what people swallow it, and that's why they do it. So it's not their fault, it's the fault of the consumer, actually. Here we are in Hest. Hest is my hairdresser, so I'm going to get my hair cut, my beard trimmed. You can see my beard is too long, I'm starting to look like a rabbi, and my hair is too long as well. So I'm going to go in there and get myself sorted out and see what we look like afterwards. In Hest. Okay, so here's the aftershot. I'll come out. This, by the way, is an insult. It's called London Steakhouse, and it's advertised as the English, or British if you like, cuisine in Warsaw. It's not. It's nothing to do with English cuisine. It's very unlike English cuisine. What they've got here is they've got a telephone box of the old kind, which we don't see anymore outside, with some old stickers in there, but not the kind that you get in English ones. Terrorist hunting permit. That's not bad. Terrorist hunting is quite good. But then the thing stops, because the first thing you see when you get in there is a cloakroom, which is obligatory. So, oh yeah, and there's a waxwork policeman with a Union Jack cravat on, and that's all kitschy. And if we, oh, there's a pillar box, which of the sort which is still used, and then we have a look and see what kind of things they think British food is. Well, steak tartare, cheese board, beef fillet carpaccio, smoked salmon with avocado, avocado with shrimps and half an avocado, nice tuna salad, or nice tuna salad, English salad, I don't know what that is, Greek salad, Texas salad with grilled beef, mozzarella with tomatoes. So there's nothing much on the cold appetizers which is actually British at all. Warm appetizers, grilled sausage, seps in parmesan, spelt wrongly, cheese with honey mustard sauce. I'm not sure that seps are the correct pronunciation of boczniaki, but never mind. Polish dumplings with meat, garlic toast with cheese and beef, beef stroganoff, omelette with mushrooms, and fried camembert with cranberries. Well, none of those are British, actually. So what they claim to have is full English breakfast for 19 zlotys. 2 eggs, slice of bacon, 2 sausages, beans and tomato sauce, toast, orange juice, or a small beer. I don't know who brings beer for breakfast. That's what they call an English breakfast. Soup, by the way, beef tripe soup, which is as Polish as you can get. Champignon cream with profiteroles, onion soup, which is French, and soup of the day. Nothing British there. I mean, the British equivalent, I mean, it couldn't be more Polish if they added barszcz czerwony to it, or red borscht. Things like tomato soup, which is the British staple, or oxtail soup, or minestrone. they're not in there at all, and there are so many great British soups. I know that we're not much of a nation for the horses doofers, as it were, but it's still, you know. And here we have main courses. You've got a mixed grill, which is, I suppose, reasonably, possibly international. Pork courses, it says. You've got grilled neck with French fries, scabovi pork chop with cabbage and boiled potatoes, sirloin brisole with mushrooms. I don't understand any of this being British at all. Lamb steaks with mint sauce. Now that's and cheese fries. Now that's possibly getting on for something that could be recognisably British. One item on the menu so far, other than the breakfast, which, you know, anybody's guess how good that is. Devilai with chips, French really. There's much more French actually in there than there is now. Codfish and chips sounds British, but they don't do it in the British way at all. I've had it. It's like the fish in there is, you know, like a cardboard inside of some very hard breadcrumb kind of batter instead of a crispy beer sort of batter that you'd get. And then you've got fried shrimps in wine with lemon sauce and rice. So really, and there's nothing like Lancashire hot pot. There's no toad in the hole. There's a whole list of things that you could expect to be on a British menu that aren't on here. You've got chicken chops and shashliks and a bit of fish for the kids. Then you've got side dishes. Now, English don't really eat side dishes. I certainly don't put boiled potatoes on the side at all. It's all on one plate, so it's absolutely nonsense that it should be anything like British cuisine. So we've got homemade Scottish burgers here, made from fillet beef. It says Własne produkcje hamburgery. So they call them Scottish, but they say they make them themselves, which is probably, you know, illegal to say that sort of thing. So the steaks that they've got here, they've got various steaks that they think is enough to make them an English restaurant. Then let's have a look. And some pure ecological meat from the best Polish farms. It says Polish beer with a small letters that looks like Polish. Let me just turn the page. Now, you know, all the wealth of interesting English desserts that there are, you know, things like, you know, what have we got? We've got treacle pudding, we've got spotted dick, we've got carrot cakes, we've got, you name it. What have they got for this English restaurant, this London steakhouse? Tiramisu is the first position, ice cream the second, so we're in Italy so far. Pancake stuffed with white cottage cheese and chocolate. Sounds more Hungarian than anything else. And more pancakes with ice cream. We've got hot apple tart, which isn't really American rather than English, I suppose. Although you can have apple pie. And old Polish cheesecake, and then hot cherries with vanilla ice cream, which is definitely Germanic. And of course, the tea. You've got English breakfast tea and gunpowder green tea. I mean, further from being English, you know, is it'd be hard to find. It's actually complete rubbish, and the quality in there was never any good either. Whenever I've been in it, it's actually a disgrace. Somebody ought to buy it out and do it as a proper English cuisine, because all they're doing is they're propagating the idea that English cuisine is bad. People in this part of the world believe that English don't know how to cook and everything. It's only because they've only been in this awful place here, and that's all they think about English cuisine. So that ought to be, you know, it's actually an insult. I find it an insult to British cuisine, that place, and it's the only place pretending to be a British restaurant in Warsaw. Although I'll tell you a little secret, and that is, if you go to the British Embassy on Aleje Jerozolimskie at lunchtime with your document, you will usually be allowed to use the cafeteria of the embassy, and the person who cooks in that does the best British food in Poland. So if you want to eat real British food in Poland, then that's the place to go. He doesn't only do British, but when he does British, it's authentic. The guy's Polish, but I think he's cooked for British people for so long, being the embassy's own chef, that he knows how to do it properly. So he wants to be open to a much broader public, I feel. If I had the time and the money, I would do the whole thing myself. I'd do a proper chain of real English restaurants in Poland so that people could know what the food is that they're saying isn't very good. And I think if they knew what it was really supposed to be like, they wouldn't have anything to complain about in it, because British cuisine, I'm being very serious here, is much better than its reputation.